What's going on, guys? Greek Freak here, and in this video we're going to be talking about a sort of a situation that I think that should be, addressed or at least talked about, which is the NFL preseason. And I think the fact that it should either be lowered as far as the amount of games or completely gotten rid of. Now, as we all should know, in last night's game, we had 6 injuries to the Minnesota Vikings. Now, this isn't just something because of the Minnesota Vikings or anything, but this is something, for the NFL now. Multiple teams have had multiple injuries as far as just in these first 2 weeks of preseason so far. And as far as we do know, what is really the reason for going into this preseason? I understand it's to figure out your final cuts of the NFL teams and everything else. But to me, that's something that can be determined in practice and other things. Usually, the one thing I always say about preseason is the only thing that counts for preseasons are the injuries, because those are the only things that really carry over as much. Now, there are a few accounts where people become on the roster and maybe make a big spot or a big jump up because of the preseason. But if so, it is the NFL. It is supposed to be a league that's very tough to get into already. I don't think the fact that really will change anything as far as our top tier players. Now, last season we had lots of injuries to very key players. Now, not in the preseason, but as we all know, the more games of football you play, the more chances you have of being injured. Of course, in the front place, because of how just physical the games are. We had Odell Beckham Jr., we had J.J. Watt, we had Aaron Rodgers. We had multiple just big injuries as far as players that went down. And when we really think about this for the team standpoint, now I understand that the teams end up making money, the NFL makes money off of the NFL preseason, but as far as an NFL team, I feel like they would want to increase the chances of being able to be Super Bowl and playoff contenders, and taking chances of your players getting hurt in games that really don't matter as far as in the preseason doesn't really make too much sense to me. So why really take that risk? I think the fact that, honestly, it should be either trimmed down to 2 games of preseason to determine the roster spots, or just gotten rid of it completely. But guys, tell me what your guys' thoughts are on the NFL preseason. We've already had multiple teams with 4+ injuries as far as to players. In many situations, we've had many players already out for the season due to major injuries such as ACL injuries and Achilles and other things such as that. So what's your guys' thoughts on players playing in the preseason, especially notable players? Do you think the fact that they should quit completely, do you think they should reduce it, or do you think that they should stay the same at 4 games? So guys, tell me what your guys' thoughts are. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to become part of the Greek Army today. And as always, this is Sparta.